Okay, so here we are at the Women Action Takers Mastermind today. Our session, we're going to be talking about magnetic messaging. And we have our guest speaker in the house, Lola Oyafemi, and she is all the way from Nigeria. I've met Lola on Facebook, I don't know, almost a year ago, I guess, right, Lola? It's probably about a year, close to a year ago or so, in a Facebook group. And what's cool about this is what Lola did in that Facebook group is what attracted me to her. And this is one of the things she's going to be, teaching us today is how to create that magnetic messaging. And before we start with Lola, I want to have everybody go around the room here, go around the horn, introduce yourselves, get just maybe okay, just listening today, Missy. Okay, so just give like a 30-second to 1 minute introduction of yourself, and let us know what you do, who you serve, and then how we can connect with you. So I'm going to start as I see you all on my screen, and I'm going to start with Tanisha. Tanisha, you want to go and share who you are, what you're all about, and how we can connect with you.
Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you. I am Tanisha Coffey, aka the Lofty Entrepreneur, and I assist aspiring and new entrepreneurs with setting up, launching, and growing their business. You can find me on Instagram at the Lofty Entrepreneur, as well as on Facebook. I'm on Twitter at the Lofty Boss, and you could also find me on Clubhouse, Tanisha Coffey, or Lady_Legacy.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And go ahead and drop all your contact information in the chat. That way, if anybody wants to connect with each other, after this mastermind session is over, you can do that as well. And even though you all are in the group together and we're doing this journey together here, I just want to make sure you have all these opportunities. It's like kind of like a reminder to say, here I am, this is who I am, this is what I'm all about. So Marianne, go and introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, what you're all about, and then how we can connect with you.
My name is Marianne Lindsay. I'm in San Diego, California. I have a couple of different businesses going on. I have an income tax business. I've been doing taxes for 30 years. And my specialty is small like startup businesses, people that don't know what they're doing. I love teaching them and getting them on track for that. And that kind of stemmed into a program that I'm trying to get off the ground now called Know Your Numbers, where we meet once a month, where we actually help those people work on their numbers so that they're working in real time versus last year. Let's see, what was the other part that I needed to ask? Oh, and I have an essential oil business. I represent doTERRA Essential Oils. And I can be found on Facebook, and I'll include my email, my text, and all that other stuff in the chat.
And just a little testimonial for Marianne. She's starting this program. It's called Know Your Numbers, started a few months ago. And during the tax season when she decided to start this program. But it's been really great for me because I show up every month. She does it once a month, and I show up. And one thing that she's helped me to do is I'm kind of one of those that waits till tax season, and then I ask for an extension, and then I wait until the tax extension before I really start working on my stuff. And so if you think about it, I'm like a year and a half, almost 2 years behind in knowing what my numbers were for the last year. And so it's great because Marianne helped me to get my mindset right so that I'm more on top of it now. I'm almost caught up. I think I'm about like at May of this year now. What this is good for is that it helps me to know my numbers as I go. And I have actually canceled some of the things that I was paying for because I see like, oh my gosh, why do I keep paying this $13 a month of something I'm not using? So anyway, that's what Marianne does. And so if you're interested in that, go ahead and connect with her there. And let's move on. Okay, Lola, I'll come to you last. So Cecilia, go and introduce yourself, share with us who you are, what you're all about, and then how can we connect with you?
Yes, I'm Cecilia Rankin, and I'm a health and life coach. I'm also an elementary teacher, and I love tutoring little kids. But anyway, if you're interested in a tutor, and my specialty is math. But anyway, yes, you can connect with me via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and my website, and I will post that in the chat.
Cecilia, tell us a little bit about your health business.
Oh,
because okay. All you talked about was the tutor. So I'm like,
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm a health coach. I basically work with people over the age of 40, 50 and beyond to get the health that they would like. And I help them feel and look younger. And I help them manage their weight, manage their gut health issues and joint pains and type 2 diabetes. And I am also a doTERRA oil believer. And so I'm in that business also. Thank you. And I'm complete.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we port the language from Clubhouse over to Zoom, right? I'm complete. Awesome. I love it. Frida, welcome to the Women Action Takers Mastermind. I'm excited to have you here. And Frida actually lives next. She's only 10 minutes from me, so it's kind of cool. But Frida, go ahead and introduce yourself, share with us, who you are, what you're all about, and then you can drop and then how can we connect with you, and then drop all the information in the chat.
Okay, great. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Frida Wilson. I live in San Diego County, as Linda has shared, and I'm the author of 2 Amazon bestsellers. The first one is Healing the Wounds of Divorce, and the second one is Building Relationships That Last. I wrote the first book after my first marriage that lasted for 11 years, and I wrote the second book since I've been married to my current husband of 18 years to help singles and couples choose wisely, work through issues in their relationships, and build healthy relationships that can last. I'm also a Christian minister, and I do Bible studies online, and I also host a divorce recovery transition group quarterly through my church. And that's me. Oh, I have 5 children, 5 adult children, and of course, my husband of 18 years. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Frida. And how can we connect with you?
Okay, so you can reach me at fridawilson.com on Facebook and on Instagram or LinkedIn, and I will share my information in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you. And welcome. And just so you all know, Missy sent me a message that she's not able to speak today. She's here to listen. So I'm not missing her. So Sally, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, share with us who you are, what you're all about, and how we can connect with you.
Hey everyone, I'm Sally Green, and as someone who was really good at taking care of everyone else, I realized during the COVID lockdown that I was really, really bad at taking care of me, and so I started a self-care journey. I've been on this journey for the last year and a half, and I've created a business helping women design their self-care journey and move forward with it. You can find me at findsally.com, and you'll get all the links to all of my social media. That's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sally. Nancy, are you able to speak? It looks like you're not moving, so I think it's safe.
Yes, no, I'm parked. Thank you for looking out for my safety, Linda. Hi, everybody. My name is Nancy Lockhart, and I'm the founder of Coaching with Kindness and the Marketing Makeover Masterclass. And I help women entrepreneurs who are looking for Fortune 100 marketing expertise and brand development expertise to achieve that, having spent over 20 years in corporate marketing and branding. And you can find me, and just a side note, I do use law of attraction coaching combined with that marketing expertise to attract the right clients, the right types of businesses, the right opportunities for my clients. And you can find me at coachwithkindness.com and also on Instagram and Facebook, and I will drop all that information in the chat. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. So let's get started. What I've decided to do, and for those who were on the call last week, I mentioned that I'm going to try something different with a mastermind. And in most masterminds you get on, and depending on the size of the mastermind, everybody gets a certain amount of time to share what challenges they have, and then we brainstorm on ways to help you through those challenges. Well, one thing that I realize is that a lot of us have the same challenges, similar challenges. And so what we're going to do is week by week, we'll be talking about 1 or 2 different types of challenges in business in general. And then, so I'll be doing I'll do like a master class at the beginning of the sessions. And then we'll go into Q&A after that. So each of you can address your own specific things that you want help with related to the topics that we talked about that day. So we're trying this out. I want to see how it works. And I envision it working amazingly well. This is how I envision it. So I'm hoping that my vision is correct. Also, what I'm going to do is once a month. So it'll probably be the third session each Monday. Third session each month is to bring in an expert in a specific area, a specific field that I find that this is the biggest challenge that we're having. So let me go find that person who's an actual, like the expert. This is what they teach. And I'm going to bring that person in, and they're going to help us through, the various things that we have going on in business. And today we have my special guest, Lola Oyafemi. We have become amazing friends, and it all started with a Facebook post. Lola posted something on Facebook, and I commented on it. And that's when the relationship started. I had no idea at that time that the relationship would grow to foster to what we have today. I mean, I swear, I feel like we're sisters, right? We call each other sister, and like we're messaging each other on Facebook all the time. We've done work with each other. She's hired me. I've hired her. I've sent her people. She sent me people. So here's what I'm saying here is, you never know what kind of relationship will grow if you're willing to at least, foster that relationship. So this is what has happened with me and Lola based on our personalities. There's been amazing things that I've learned from her. There's amazing things she's learned from me. So it's been this symbiotic relationship, and I really love creating those. So with all that, I want to introduce our guest today, our speaker for today. She's going to be talking about magnetic messaging. And so, Lola, I don't have your bio in front of me, so I just wanted to talk from the heart. So if you can make sure you share with everybody, like, why are you the expert and why should we listen to you today, besides what I just said, of course. And so, Nancy, be careful there. Are you driving? Okay. I just want to make sure you're careful. And then Nancy and Lola, you guys definitely want to connect with each other because of the type of work you both do in doing that in magnetic messaging, using the law of attraction and that. I could totally see you two doing something together. So with that said, I want to introduce our guest, Lola, even though her name says Omo Lola Akinyele. Did I say it right? I have no idea. She goes by Lola Oyafemi. Lola, thank you so much for being here today.
Yay. Well, I just had to join Zoom and I had to register, and I have, that's my maiden name before I got married. So that was just like on autocorrect. So whatever, autofill, I'm just like, okay, I'm already late. Let me quickly fill this in for me. So I could go change that, but I didn't even know that was how it came out. Okay. So
no worries, it's all good. It's all good.
Awesome. My name is Lola Oyafemi, and what I do is I show you how to be really magnetic, how to have a message that attracts the right people to come to you. And let me remove my glasses so I don't look weird. So how to attract the right people to come to you and to come to your business. Because one of the problems that most people have when they start a business is they have this amazing product, they have this amazing offer, and they don't know how to show other people that this offer is amazing. They don't know how to tell other people that this offer is going to change their lives. The reason why is because most of us don't learn how to sell ourselves. So all through growing up, we're told that salespeople are not good. Whatever, all those things, those mindset dramas, by the time we start a business, we don't know how to sell the value of what we have to offer. And that is why you'd see, if you go deep, you check your industry, you see people who don't even know half as much as what you know. And they are making millions, making hundreds of thousands, and they're not even half as good as you are. But the reason they're doing it is they know how to be magnetic. They know how to attract the right people to them. They know how to sell with their words, with their message, and they know how to get people to say yes to work with them, even if they don't know even if they're not good at what they're doing. So that is one thing that has really driven me over the last couple of years, especially when I started seeing the kind of things that we have in the market. So we see people who don't care about their clients, people who don't care whether their products get results or not, and they are making a ton of money. And then you have authentic entrepreneurs, people who are working with integrity, and they're struggling. And the reason they're struggling is because they don't know how to take this message and expose it to the world and get people to say yes and get people to buy over and over and over again. So is that a good enough introduction, Linda?
Well, maybe you mention a little bit about like the radio station you worked for, something like that, or there's a little bit.
Oh yeah, so I've always been in communications, not always marketing, but I've always been in communications. I worked in radio for 4 years. I was doing politics, and trust me, if you do politics, you can do anything. Because according to me, my own personal opinion, most politicians are dirty. So if you can clean a politician and make him look good, you can clean anybody. You can tell anything. So I worked in radio for 4 years. I have a degree in mass communication, and communication is my jam. Messaging is my jam. This is what I feel called and feel led to do. And I can easily see what someone is doing and let them know where the errors are, why they're not making sales, why they're struggling, because everything starts from the message. Everything. And I'll give you an example. When you go to Walmart, what do you expect? You don't expect, well, I'll tell you what you don't expect. You don't expect a valet. You don't expect someone who's going to follow you all around and give you that luxury treatment. You don't expect them to call you by name right from the front door and escort you all through and just like give you this treatment where they're picking everything and they're asking your opinions. You don't expect that. Because Walmart's messaging essentially tells you that it's a discount store. It's groceries, come buy, everything is here. That's the messaging. So when you go there, you expect it. But if you go to a high-end boutique, from the moment you enter inside, from the moment the air conditioner hits you, it's like you're in heaven. Why? Because right from their messaging, they let you know that this boutique is not for everybody. It's for the person who has an extra 30,000 to come and shell on the back. So, and the messaging makes you know right from when you enter inside, right from when a valet parks your car, right from the moment someone walks to meet you and says, oh, what do you want? Do you want the Chanel? Do you want this? You already know because everything is really their messaging. So if the boutique wants to put an ad, they'll put a totally different ad for Walmart. Even though, of course, they all sell stuff. But the messaging determines who comes in and who doesn't come in. And that I was listening to everyone introduce themselves. I think it was Nancy or Sally, I'm not sure, who said, I'm into corporate branding and corporate marketing. And you see that it's different. So if you're a one-person shop, the way you go into brands is going to be different from if you're a Fortune 500 company or a Fortune 100 company. Because it all boils down to the messaging. What is the message we pass when someone comes across your website, when they come across your brand, and how do they perceive you? Because it's one thing to say, oh, I'm pushing this message. It's another thing for people to perceive you like that. So is everyone understanding what I'm saying? I know this is like a workshop kind of thing. So I really want it to be interactive. So if you're getting what I'm saying, please tell me. So I know we're going in the same direction.
Awesome. Okay, so you want to do a workshop style. So let's do this. If you have any things you want to stop her if she said something and you feel like you have a clarifying question, let's get it right then up front instead of waiting until the end, right? So is that best, Lola, to do it that way?
Yeah. So that I know that.
Yeah, I'm experiencing a little bit of cutting out every once in a while. Are you guys experiencing that as well? Okay, so if she cuts out, let's do this. Let's make sure we stop her so she can go back. There was one thing you said, Lola, just now. You asked the question. I'm not sure what it was, but it was something about what message are you sending? Did you ask that?
No, what I said was, what message are you sending? So you could be sending out a message, but the message you're sending may be different from what people are perceiving. So you're sending out a message, but people are not perceiving the message the way you want it. Let me give an example. So an example here is, let's say you sell lemonade, right? And you're selling bottles of lemonade, and you write right there, it's this premium high whatever lemonade. The vitamins inside, it's going to cure cancer and cure whatever. And this is like your dream lemonade, right? And you're selling it. And right there, understand, it's like it cures cancer, it cures arthritis, it cures diabetes, it cures like 700 diseases. Now, to you, who is selling that lemonade, you feel like this is premium marketing. Like anybody who sees this lemonade will know, like for a lemonade to cure cancer, it's an expensive lemonade. But when the person sees the message, what do they see? Oh, snake oil. Oh my God, they've come again. Oh my God. Why are they bringing this up? Because the person can't see, the person is perceiving it as low level marketing, as low level messaging. Even though to you, it's like, I put cancer there. Once I put cancer, it should be selling like crazy. But to the people who are seeing it, they're like, okay, let's take a step back. They have started again. And I'm not going to be the person who loses money. So what I was trying to explain there is when it comes to messaging, you have to listen and find out what is the person at the other end, what are they hearing when I speak. And the reason I'm using hearing is because I know that this is really about Clubhouse. So what are people hearing when they see you on Clubhouse? What are people hearing when they see your website? What are they seeing and what are they perceiving about you? Because it's not just I'm putting stuff out there, but are you putting stuff out there to the right person? And how is that person perceiving what you're putting out there?
Awesome. So a question regarding, and if anybody has any questions, just unmute yourself and then I'll call on you. Clarifying question on that. Because one thing that I've heard, for years is, focus, right? Follow one course until successful. So how important is it for us to, let's say, for example, I know Tanisha, you honed in on the one thing. And so that was really great because then we can know what you do. Cecilia, this is why I said, tell us about your health thing, because you brought up the tutors, right? So I want to know, how important is it for us to really focus on that one message that is related to the one thing that we do. So many of us do a lot of different things. We're all multi-passionate, I believe, so we do different things. But when I say I do this, this, and this, does that confuse the audience? And if so, how do I decide which one to focus on?
Okay. So the way life is, when you focus, you get better results. That's just the truth. But for a lot of people, especially women, because I think women generally, because we can do so many things at the same time, we take that into business. So we're trying to be this, we're trying to be that. For example, Marianne, she's the tax person, but she's also the doTERRA person. And then it doesn't stop her for being, the sister, the friend, and all those other things. But where messaging comes in is that for every single part, you have one core message. And this is what I mean. So for example, for Marianne, for your tax business, you have one core message. I'm speaking to this person at this stage, and I'm trying to take them to this stage. Now, you don't come to your tax business and start talking about doTERRA. The same way you don't go to doTERRA and start saying, oh, if you're a doTERRA person, I want to tell you about tax. Except you decide that you want to deliberately make an offer for doTERRA agents and show them how to do their taxes. But if that's not the case, you want to make sure that for every single business you have, there's a core message. And it is one core message, not 10, not 5, not 2, not 3. One core message per business. And one thing I find is that eventually we're all going to evolve. Like, we're not married. You're not married to your business. It doesn't mean like, oh my God, if I'm a coach now, I'm going to be a coach for the next 40 years. No, it's your business. So it means you can change, you can evolve, you can start a new business, you can add another business. But you want to make sure that where I'm starting from, I'm focused on it growing before I start another one. And I'll use a simple example that all of us, almost everyone should know. When you have a baby, if you have a baby now, if within the next 3 months you're pregnant again, it's not going to be the most wonderful experience, because unconsciously you're trying to give this one baby everything, but you still have another baby in you that also needs everything. So at the end of the day, the 2 kids for the first 2-3 years, it's going to be hustle bustle, and no one's really going to get what they're trying to get, because you're trying to do those 2 babies at the same time. The same thing with a business. If you're trying to grow a business, and let's say you're facing one business and the business is not mature enough, and you add another one and another one, before you know, it's like you're having 5 babies at the same time, and you don't have time for any of those babies. So maybe one person is crying, one person is pooping, one person is saying mom, and you're just like, oh my God, where do I start from? And that's not why you started a business. You didn't want a job. That's why you started a business. So your business shouldn't be worse than your job. That's my own personal opinion when it comes to focusing and honing down.
Thank you for that baby analogy. When you have boss baby behind you. But that's a great analogy, because I'm remembering. I'm not imagining anything. I'm remembering when I first started when I left corporate, I launched out with 7 different business ideas. No wonder every single one of them flopped, because I couldn't concentrate on any one particular thing because I was too busy trying to concentrate on 7 different things. And so it really is a great message there. So when somebody, Marianne, do you have any questions? Because she was mentioning, the tax business and the oil business. Do you have any questions for her? Because there was something she meant. She gave you a great idea, and just wondering what you think about, or do you have any questions?
I couldn't understand everything she was saying. But so in my particular case, because you talked about one being mature, my income tax business is mature. I've been doing it for 30 years. I've been doing taxes for 30 years. I've had my own business for 24 years. So it's mature. It's well developed. I got my little niche more or less. Now it's just a matter of maintaining my knowledge, because the information changes at the speed of light. I know that you're in a different country, so I don't know what tax laws are there, but here they're changing like daily, practically. It's awful.
My business is incorporated in the US, so I understand.
So yeah, so that's it. It's just kind of naturally growing. And because my business has been in my home for these 24 years, I don't market out. It's all been personal referral, because I started because I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. My daughter was young. I had a daughter at home. I thought, I can't advertise to the general public. I can't have people I don't know coming in here. So I've been able to grow it to the point where, like I said, it's just kind of self-sustaining. And there's, people leave, but people come. So it's just kind of rolling. So then as far as getting into the essential oils, it's because of my tax mindset that I got into the essential oil business. I had started, something you guys don't know about me, Linda does, is that I'm a prepper. And so I was learning about emergency preparedness things. And about a year into that journey, I learned about essential oils for first aid purposes. And I thought, wow, this is kind of cool. Then my church was going to have a craft fair. And I thought, oh, well, I can make some stuff with essential oils at the craft fair. And as I was spending money getting ready for this craft fair, my tax brain started sending major signs like, you're spending money on something that's not tax deductible. And so literally that's how my essential oil business started, because I thought, I'm spending all this money and I'm having fun and I'm doing something that's good for people. I can make a business out of this. Then that's when I found doTERRA. I had already decided to make it a business.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you, because we're really in the story, right? Because I want to take advantage of Lola's time here. So do you have any questions related, because we're talking about messaging today. Okay, so let's get to the question.
So the question is then, because people do know me as a tax person, so I don't know how, and I'm not good at messaging and being creative. I'm an analytical person. So I don't know how to message and get people to see me as this essential oil wellness person.
Okay. So for me, Marianne, personally, I don't think you have a problem. Let me tell you why. Why? Because your tax business is personal referral. So if you just have a simple website that people could go check to see you're legit, you're good with taxes. You're not trying to advertise on social media for people to come do their taxes, apart from if you're looking at this, your new program. But you're really not advertising for taxes. You're not creating content about taxes, because that business is mature enough and you already have people who are going to come and ask you to do their taxes over and over and over again. However, where I see you're having a disconnect is because you are not marketing the doTERRA business on social. And you could literally just move from tax person to doTERRA person, because your tax business is practically offline. So the thing is, if you say I'm a tax person online and you're not getting clients online, then there's no point of using, I'm a tax person as your online profile and your stuff online. But if you take this doTERRA business and you decide that, I'm an essential oils consultant, or whatever you decide your title is, and you really leverage on that and you really lean into that, you could literally grow a business from it. And let me tell you, the truth is, we could grow a business from anything. It just depends on how you perceive it and how you see it. So look at it this way. You have people who come for your programs. Linda's coming for your monthly program. You don't have to advertise to Linda. You have your regular people. And that business is doing well. It's, it's paying the bills, it's doing well. You're not spending extra on that business. But you have this new business and you're spending on this business. And this business, you want it to also be bringing in something. And one thing I know about network marketing is it takes a while to build, but once you get to the top, like free money, that's how I say it. So it takes a while to build, but once you get to the top, that money comes in. So you have to really decide, do I want to build this? And if you do want to build it, then let's talk messaging. Now, messaging, who do you want to sell to? Because you could decide, for doTERRA, I want to sell to women, I want to sell to men, I want to sell to whoever has this particular problem. What I'd suggest you do is pick a big problem that could be solved with essential oil. It could be and now let me give you some examples. It could be a wealth problem. So you may want to be showing other people how to start a doTERRA business. And there you're solving a wealth problem because the problem they have is they want to make more money. You can also position yourself as someone who helps people who are in doTERRA make more money or manage more money or maximize their money or whatever. And that's another income stream that can come from doTERRA. And that one you're solving a money problem. You can also be showing other people who are in tax and professional services who are looking for a side hustle how to go into doTERRA. And that is a wealth problem. Another type of problem you can be solving, because when it comes to messaging, there are buckets of problems. Another type of problem that you can be selling, you can be solving is the health problem. So let's say there's a particular oil that works for maybe acne or works for skin irritation or something. You could position yourself as the person who shows people how to get out of that problem. So a couple of years ago, I was working with someone and he was selling horse oil. Horse oil is something that comes from Japan. I don't know how they make it, which is so creepy. But the soap is so good. And what he decided to do, he decided to deliberately just be selling to people who had black spots and acne. And he was making a fortune selling to just those people. Of course, the soap can work for, other things. It can work for whatever. But he picked a core problem that people have and people are spending money on. Because it's one thing to say a problem that people have, but they don't care about. And it's another thing to talk about a problem that people have and they're spending money. So you can look at, in the health space, what big issue do people have that I know that an essential oil can solve for them? And then start talking about that problem. So for example, you pick acne, you do a clubhouse room and you're like, how to get rid of acne, and everyone comes and tells you all their home remedies and say, one of the best things is doTERRA. I'll show you my special formulation of how to use doTERRA to get rid of acne. And suddenly you're no longer just this doTERRA person. You're now, oh my God, Marianne can help me get rid of acne. You've suddenly removed yourself from the sea of every other person who is selling doTERRA, and you're now in the category of one. So you have to just look at the ways you can make this happen, because it will happen. But it depends on how you position it. I hope I answered your question, Miriam.
Oh, you're muted.
I was just saying thank you. You gave me a lot of ideas.
Yeah, and that's
Awesome.
yes, and this is really the thing is like you want to be known for something. I mentioned it yesterday. If you don't stand for something, you don't stand for anything. That's not what I said, but that still sounds good. Okay, so it's the thing is to be known for. If you don't stand for something, you won't be known for anything. That's the thing. So when we're so generic like that, and I know how challenging it can be to pick one thing. I myself, it took me 6.5 years to do that. I'm just saying, don't take 6.5 years, because until you pick something that you stand for, it's going to be harder. And so just like she said, like if you say, you know what, acne is the thing, then you do your messaging around acne, not around the product. It's not around the product, because what if What if, and I know that Marianne said, well, that'll never happen. But what if there was another essential oil company that came out that was even better than doTERRA? And then now it's like, oh, shoot, I'm selling this other thing, but if you're still solving the same problem, it doesn't matter the product you're selling. You're solving a problem. So honing in on that one thing, this is how it helps. And with Marianne's there, you could also, and maybe Lola, correct me if I'm stating this incorrectly, because with Marianne's, she could talk about the helping them with their taxes as well. So she can hone in on the one thing, but then also add the tax part into it later, where your message is about the one thing, but then you can also help them with their taxes.
Okay, so let me just add something. So Marianne, if you decide to go like with wealth, taxes could be the add-on. But if you're teaching people about acne, taxes don't come with acne. But if you decide to show people how to start a business or do a side hustle or whatever you decide, if you decide on the money part, of course, you can always bring tax as an add-on. And you can always, add that and make it just work perfectly. And, just one thing, if you're doing network marketing, you want to make sure that you're building a brand outside the product. I can't mention this enough. One of my biggest clients used to be a top person in network marketing, and we've worked together.
You just said, go back, repeat, because you were cutting out. Repeat what you just said.
Okay. I said that if you're in network marketing, you want to make sure that you're promoting your own brand and not the product.
Right.
One of my biggest clients used to be in network marketing. She just left, but she was in network marketing for 14 years and 4 companies. And every single time, she always got to the top of the company. The reason why is because her team believed in her and not the company. So if she leaves the company today, her team goes with her because she has built her brand for her, not for the company. And now that she's leaving network marketing and she's about to start her own thing, she has a lot of people who are buying stuff, a lot of people who are attending her workshop because she has removed her brand from the company because you don't run the company.
Right.
No matter how nice they are and wonderful they are, you don't run the company. You're just a partner.
Right, so. And they can teach us that to market ourselves.
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
So this is
Thank
a
you.
reminder. Okay.
This was a special, unexpected treat.
Hey, I try to have those in my back pocket every once in a while. Little special treats there. Okay, so anybody have any questions for Lola? Go ahead and raise your hand. Anything? Okay, Tanisha?
Yeah, so piggybacking on what you're saying as far as adding value, adding in some of your other services, the other things you do as like a value add-on. I focus on, right now I'm focusing on helping entrepreneurs to get upset and launch, get started. But I also have a business that deals with like life insurance and annuities. And I'm wanting to combine that to teach business owners about how they can use life insurance products and things like that to help with their business, whether it's protect their business, whether it's capital for their business. In your opinion, what are some of the best ways, right, to combine that? I guess in what scenarios? Not specifically for me, but just in general, like for Marianne combining hers, are there certain types of events or strategies that are best used for combining those?
Okay, so when it comes to and I want to be sure I understand this right, your business essentially is you help people start a business, so you help them launch their business. Beautiful. Now, if you want to launch your business, one of the things you should be doing is protecting yourself legally. So that means that this is a natural add-on. The reason why it seems like it's 2 separate things is because you're seeing it as 2 separate things. But if someone comes in and maybe they pay you $3,000 to show them how to set up their business, and you say like, the number 5 thing we're going to do is we're going to do insurance and do all these things, and this is why it's important, the person will naturally just buy it as part of the package. The person won't start thinking, oh my God, insurance is not part of a business. No, because you're the expert, you're the one telling them, this is how to start a business. And so they are trusting you and they're believing that you know what you're doing. And I know you know what you're doing. So what you want to just do, just add this, is when you're looking at an add-on, you want to look at it logically. Remember, we're doing everything not from your own standpoint, from the standpoint of your buyer. So if you were starting a business today and you got a coach and the coach is working with you and you're setting up the legals and you're setting up, the marketing and the sales and the offers and everything, if the coach says, I want to protect you, I want to show you how to protect yourself. So you have insurance against maybe lawsuits, you have life insurance in case anything happens. Will you want to jump on it or not? The answer is, for most people will just say yes. As long as it's part of the whole business package, most people will jump on it. But if you separate it and say, oh, when you buy my business stuff, why don't you add this thing on? You may now have to start trying to sell the add-on. So I'd suggest that you just bundle it together because it's a whole package. Like many people who start entrepreneurship, they don't have health insurance, they don't have any insurance. And because most of the time when you go hire a coach, they don't teach you marketing and sales. They don't teach you those other things that are really important for you to know you have a real business. And insurance is part of a real business.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And if you like listening to what Lola was just saying there, one of the things I mentioned during the Clubhouse challenge, for those who have attending that, is I mentioned the landing pages, right? Because this is part of business. This is part of making money. This is part of having something that you can capture people's email addresses so you can get them on your list. So what did I do? I shared something that, I have Now Site, which I use. And I also am an affiliate of theirs. But it was a natural thing for me to introduce that because we were talking about how, what are some of the steps that we need to take in order to grow our business. Having landing pages is one of those, which we'll share Lola's in just a minute here. But, having so me mentioning Now Site. So I don't talk about Now Site. But what I do is I introduce it when it's the right time. Right. So my focus is really on helping you guys in this challenge, especially, is to help you to see how you can make $5,000 in 30 days. That's my focus. But the Now Site happened to be a natural part of that. So that's exactly what Lola is saying. If you have something that works naturally together, then you can incorporate them with each other. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, any thoughts, any clarification, anything? Okay, Pamela.
Oh.
I actually have two businesses. And one is I have a physical product. It's a jewelry travel carrier. And it has a social message too. The women who sew for me are survivors of human trafficking. And I donate part of my profits back to local human trafficking safe houses where these women heal and they get work and stuff like that. And the product I invented because I traveled a lot, and it works better than anything out there. That's all I can tell you. It's amazing when you see it. Like if I'm at a show, people are like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. And it's so easy to use. That was really important to me because I traveled a lot. I also have a coaching business. I coach lesbians on dating and relationship issues. So they're very different. I mean, yes, women love jewelry and lesbians are women, but that's about the only link there. So I don't know. I have to have two separate messages and maybe talk about them with two separate audiences.
Well, to me, I'd say that they're still two separate audiences. They may overlap, but they're separate. And let me give you a simple example. So yesterday I was on a coaching call with one of my clients, and he just did a launch, and the launch bumped. And the reason the launch bumped, and this is full disclosure here, because I could say, oh my God, it was like a $1 million launch, but it wasn't. The reason it bumped was because he did not decide on who he really wanted to target. So he was doing something for e-commerce, people who are in beauty and health, e-commerce businesses, and he was stuck in the sense that he wanted to be talking to people who just started and at the same time talk to people who were established. Now, because when he talks to this, when he does something and it's for people who are just starting, they feel excited. But when he says 6 figures, it's like, oh my God, can I make 6 figures? And they feel that disconnect. And the moment he starts talking about beginner stuff, people who are at 16 figures already like, this guy is too amateurish. I'm not going to work with him. And that's the same audience, but at different levels. So now imagine you're trying to sell to 2 different audiences. Now they may overlap, but how big is the overlap? Because for me, you could easily add your jewelry as an add-on for your coaching. How? Is you could say like, if you join the VIP, the VIP option, you're going to get a box of jewelry. And then you just, put the cost of the jewelry with the VIP option. And that makes sense. But if you decide that you want to add your coaching as an upsell to your product business, it's not going to work. Because then some people who buy your products may be homophobic, for example. Some people who buy your product may be like, I don't want, all those things, all that drama. Your product, it has nothing to do with your product, because your product is jewelry and it's for travel and it's different and it has a unique appeal. So you could leverage on that unique appeal to sell your offer, to sell your product. Selling your coaching, you could definitely now add your product add-on, like the physical at a higher level. And then you're making that money too. So it really depends on how you want to combine it, but you can't just combine both of them because it's 2 different audiences and the overlap is really small. And if you just go like that, you're not going to make enough sales.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Pamela.
Does it help you, Pamela? Does it help to clarify? Okay, awesome. Cecilia, you had your hand up.
Yeah, well, I just want to thank you, Lola. This has really helped me. So I've been trying to think about how to narrow my title, make it tighter, so then the message comes out. Because I do so much with people, and that's my fear, is that I'm going to scare away people if they don't understand all the things that I do for them. And so I just was thinking I should come up with a title. So I'm a health coach. And so I'll just try it on you here. So I help people feel sexy in their body, inside and outside of their skin, no matter their age. So then hopefully, if I say something like that, they'll ask me more questions. And so that's what I want people to do, is ask me more questions about, elaborate more. So I think that's trying to come up with a catchy title is a tough one for me.
Okay. So for me personally, I think the title can be important if you're giving like a pitch, you're in a meeting, you want to introduce yourself. But I feel very strongly that most times in social media, the title is not the most important thing. Because people don't always buy because of the title. If you're in a group meet and you say, I am a health coach and this is what I do, people say yes. But for social, you want to be sure that you are not just having that title, but you're reflecting it. So you want to make sure that when you're introducing yourself, you feel safe. And so when you say it, people are like, yes, I want to have the same vibe that Cecilia has. Because she feels sexy, I want to feel sexy. And then you want to be looking at what are the problems that people who don't feel sexy, what are the problems they're experiencing? What does that look at? And the message, what rooms you want to attend,
hold on.
what workshops.
Lola, we lost you for about the last probably 30 seconds, but I wanted to wait till you came back in before I said anything. So, so what you said was, I want to feel sexy because Cecilia feels sexy. And then after that.
Okay. So I said, you want to show that vibe. So, messaging is not just, words we put, it also talks the vibe, like the spirit behind everything you do. So you want to show that vibe that I feel sexy and I'm going to help you feel sexy. And for you to now get it, you have to talk about, and this is now your messaging for social, for emails, for conversations, for sales conversations, stuff. You want to get into why do people not feel sexy? Because when you're 3 years old and you're walking up on everywhere with diapers, you feel sexy. Where do we get to that we stop feeling sexy? Why is it a problem? Why should I even want to feel sexy? Because if you could answer those questions, then you could now be getting Johnny, you are in their mind. So you want to get out of just the title. The title is just the first step. The I help statement is just the first step. You want to go deeper than the first step. You want to be talking about the why. Why is it important? What are the problems that people have that stop them from feeling sexy? So for example, I'll tell you one, when I had my son, right now I don't feel sexy. I'm pregnant and I'm fat. I don't feel sexy. So how do I get out of that? Those are things you want to talk about. And you want to decide, who am I talking to? If I'm talking to women above 50, why don't they feel sexy? And I want to get into that because those are the kind of conversations they're going to have that's going to get people saying, you know what, can I talk to you about this? It's going to get people to open up and get people to raise their hands to want to work with you because suddenly you are in their mind. They can see that you understand not just, oh, I'm going to help you make you feel sexy, but they can see that you understand why they're not sexy.
Is that helpful, Cecilia?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So what she was saying there, if you think about it, how many times have you heard a speaker speaking, or if you were in church and you heard the pastor speaking, and then you're like, oh my God, they're speaking to me, right? It's that message that we're trying to get out there. And it can be said in a way that you don't have to speak directly to the people in the words that you like. You don't have to sell people. It's not about that. It's about attracting them through your messaging, through your body language, right? Through your tone of voice, through the conviction that you have to what it is that you're selling. There's so many different things that go into it. And so like when Lola said, like, I want what Cecilia has. Think about that. What was that movie, You Got Mail, when they were in the restaurant and she was like pretend like she was having an orgasm, right? And the lady looks over and she goes, I want what she's having. Right. So it's like, how can you get your message? Not that it's about orgasm, but how can you get your message out there that people are saying, I want that. I want that. So, Lola, did you want to say something on that before we go to Marianne?
Okay. So what I want to just say is, and thanks for asking that question, Cecilia, because it's a very important question. What I wanted to say is where your messaging comes from is from you deciding first that what is the problem I want to solve. Now, a lot of us, we do a lot of things, but you have to decide what's the problem I want to solve. Because once you get that problem, you can go deep into the problem. And I want you to realize that the problem you solve is a domino. So let's say you solve a money problem and you help, like, for example, Marianne helps people with taxes. And that's a money problem because she makes sure the IRS is not freezing your account or chasing you around or whatever. And once she helps you with taxes, even though that money problem goes away and you feel safe, that's not the only thing that happens. There's a ripple effect on other parts of your life. So for example, you feel better. When you feel better, you have a better relationship with your spouse, with your kids, with people around you, you're happier. It works beautifully well for your emotions. And when your emotions are good, your health is better. There is a ripple effect of everything we do. But we have to decide, what is the big domino that I'm going to be solving that's going to cause all that ripple effect? So we don't spend our time talking about the ripple effect. Imagine Marianne's messaging is, I'm going to help you be happy by doing your taxes. No one's going like, why do I want to be happy doing taxes? But when she says, I'm going to make sure the IRS is not on your neck, I'm going to make sure your taxes are done and you don't have to worry about it, suddenly people get it because that's the big domino. Of course, they're going to be happy. Of course, they're going to be healthier. But she's not. Prove your health, do your health. So just sharing that before I forget, and we have other questions.
Okay, awesome. Marianne, and then after Marianne, we go to Frida. Marianne?
I'm really glad that you really touched on the thing about solving a problem and being more specific about things, because I'm the kind of an audience that if you tell me I'm a wellness coach, that turns me off. I have no idea what that means, and it doesn't intrigue me to ask you questions. It makes me annoyed that now I still don't know what you do. And I'm guessing I'm not the only one, and I'm sure there's a whole audience out there that thinks that way. They're analytical. They want to know the information, and they don't want to ask you. They want you to tell them. So how do you address for people that that have generic things like that? Or how do you address me, help me maybe change my attitude?
Okay, just give me a minute. I want to connect my phone so that it doesn't go off in the middle.
And Marianne, we're over here. You're looking at your other monitor.
Well, because the Zoom is over there.
I know. Awesome. I love it. And here's the thing is when we are picking that one problem we solve, sometimes it can make us feel like, but I have all these other things I do as well. The key here is the message that you're getting out there is the one problem. But now when you get them onto a call, when you get them into your program, that's when you introduce them to the other things that you do, the other things that you can help them with. But the reason why we pick the one problem is because we want to be known for that thing. Be known for that one thing, because what happens is you think about it when you're talking to somebody, you're having a conversation and they're like, oh, wow, I'm really having a challenge with my phone service. With my phone company service. And so what do? You're like, oh, I use this one. It's great. You know exactly what their problem is. They're having a problem with their phone service and you know exactly where to send them. So if we help everybody, we're never going to come top of mind to anybody. This is why picking the one thing is so important and focusing on that one thing, because you want to be known for something. So whatever it is, like she was mentioning earlier, like the acne, right? If that's the problem you solve, like that's the one you want to focus on, then you focus on that one problem. But now that they know what you do and you've helped them with that, you can also help them with other things. But to be known for one thing, this is how you get speaking engagements. I've been getting on so many different Clubhouse summits. I've been getting, somebody just reached out to me today. Oh my gosh, somebody reached out to me. I'm gonna share this. It's so cool. I'm in the Amazon influencer program where I can do Amazon live videos and stuff. And somebody reached out to me to be one of their influencers. They have 200 products that they sell and they want me to sell those products. But I wouldn't have become known for that if I didn't do the work that I've done that is letting people see that, I have a message. I share, I promote other people's products, right? They're like, oh, here's a person who promotes products. So let's go ahead and bring this person in. Right? So be known for something, not everything. You can't help everybody. And your solution is to the problem they have. It's not to everything. Okay, Lola, you want to address Marianne's question?
Okay, so Marianne, I totally get you. It's kind of like me saying I'm a business coach. Like everybody's a business coach now. That's how it is. But you want to have your own thing, your own differentiator, your own unique thing, right? So if you're a wellness coach, what part of wellness are we looking at? And here, that's what I'm saying. We want to be specific about problems and not demographics. So some people say, I'm a wellness coach for women who have 5 kids. No, women who have 5 kids, they may be living different realities. So one person may have 5 kids and be a professional. One person may be a stay-at-home mom. One person may be, working in Walmart or something. And there are different levels and they're 5 kids. Okay, so I think, it was in a clubhouse I was in this morning. And someone said, I have 5 kids, but they're all out of the house. So if I'm targeting women with 5 kids, she has 5 kids, but she may not have the problem I solve. So you want to make sure that you're clear on that problem. And even though you say I'm a wellness coach, I'm a wellness coach that solves this problem. So yes, coaches, but to for example, I'm a wellness coach who helps, but that would be a wellness coach I'd be interested in talking to. But you get that is a big, that postnatal depression is a big problem, and people are willing to spend money on it. So you want to make sure that you are, even in that generic space, you're solving a problem that people want to spend money on. Not a problem, because you don't want to be answering a question that no one is asking. So like, I'm the solution to this, but nobody is looking for the solution. So you want to make sure that I'm positioned well, but I'm solving a problem that people actually have, and people actually spend money on.
That's the key there. A problem that they actually will spend money on. Because people have problems, but are they willing to spend money on it? And a great example. So Lola mentioned the mom with 5 kids that are all out of the house. I'm the mom with 2 kids who are out of the house, right? And I don't have any responsibilities anymore for my kids. And so somebody invited me to speak at their mompreneur conference. And I'm like, well, I am a mom, I am a business owner, but my kids don't live with me. So I don't have the same I'm not going through the same challenges as a mom who has 2 kids who are 2 and 3 years old, or 2 kids that are teenagers, right? So I don't have that same experience that they're having. So was I a fit for that platform? I think I ended up being a fit, but I made it work, right? But they reached out to me because they knew I was a mom, but they didn't know that my kids don't live at home. My kids haven't lived with me for years. So anyway, so again, knowing exactly who that audience is, and that they're looking to spend money to solve that problem. So let's go on. Oh, Marianne, did that help you with that question? Okay, cool. So Frida, you want to ask your question, or do you want me to just read it from the chat there?
You can read it, and if she has more questions, I can interject.
Okay. So Frida's question is, she says, I work with relationships, singles, divorcees, and couples. What are your thoughts on how to attract the right person, how my messaging should look and read?
Okay. So Frida, I'll ask you, do you have offers, or you work with all of them together? Because if you have offers, I'd suggest that you have offers for the different segments. So offers for singles, because the problems the singles have are different from the problems that, and even in the single markets, like you have Christian singles, you have homosexual singles, you have singles in different, they're like different niches even within being singles. But do you have, is it like the same coaching package where whether you're single, you're divorced, you're married, you all come together, or is it separate? Because I'd suggest you do it separate. I'd suggest you do something for singles, and your people know that you're the relationship expert, and your star single program is, whatever you decide to name it. And I suggest you could also do something for married couples, because it's a totally different ballgame from when you're single and when you're married. And I know, because I got married less than 2 years ago, and I was telling my husband today, like, I don't know if I'm married, because you're not the same person I married. You're so moody. You used to be all laughs and everything, but now you're always frowning. And the thing is, it's a totally different ballgame from when you're single and when you're married. Then being divorced is another different level.
So yes, I do have 3 separate entities, right? So when I market to divorcees on Facebook. When I want to work with singles, I market to singles, although I've been playing around with or thinking about um, dating after divorce as a singles approach. I'm not sure about it because I can blend the two. If you're a divorcee and you're ready to date, I could use that. And then, like right now, I run a divorce group, a divorce transition group that I host through my church. So I do market them differently, but I do service all 3 groups, which makes it a bit challenging, I guess. So I was just wondering what your thoughts would be, because they are separate, but I don't know.
I have a clarifying question that may help, at least it'll help me. With the groups that you currently serve, which of those groups pays you the most amount of money?
Well, let's see. To be perfectly honest, I've worked with let's see, my clients right now are all over the place, literally. Like I just started marketing for the divorcee program because my church asked me to do that. So that was like an open door. But the people that I have bought on as clients, one has, I mean, they've been married, then some of them have not even been in my niche. Like one wanted career counseling, one needed training on being focused. So I really don't know yet because I haven't been doing a lot of marketing. So that's what I'm like doing now. So to be perfectly honest, I don't know which one is going to bring me more
Okay.
money. Sorry.
Oh, no, no, that's good though. And thank you for answering the question. I always want honesty here because we can't help it like if we're not being honest, right? So then a follow-up question to that then, and thank you for sharing that. A follow-up question to that is of the three that you have listed at least, which is the one that you would prefer to be the people that you spend the most of your time with? Because when you're coaching, you're spending time with them. So of those three, if you had to pick, if I said, you know what, you got to pick one, if I said that, which I'm not going to say, but if I were to say that, which would you pick?
I would probably pick helping singles choose wisely. I just feel because it's happier. But I'm very strong on divorce recovery. I'm very strong in that. So it's almost a tie. If
And
I had,
divorce recovery are singles, correct?
yeah,
Yeah.
divorcees, yeah.
And the reason I asked you that question is because remember, again, when we're doing coaching, we're going to spend a lot of time with these people. So we want to make sure that we really enjoy the people we're spending our time with. That's one thing. So we're choosing our clients through our message. And so I would love Lola to address this because she is the messaging queen. Like I have an idea, but it's probably not the best idea. I'll just share it that way. But if you were to work with the divorcees who are looking to get back into the market, as an example, maybe your program could be for divorcees who are getting back into the market and want to choose the next one wisely. You know what I'm saying there? So I'd love to hear Lola's thoughts on that.
Well, for me, I'd say it also depends on what the thing is. All markets are big enough for everyone. But the question is, what is the angle you want to go through? Singles are big markets, but are you going to be able to sell to them? And what's your price range? So before we even go into like who should you sell to and who should you not sell to, what's your price range? How much is your program and what does your program look like?
Well, the vision of the program is I have a 8-week program initially, which I call my front end. Well, this is the vision. I work with them in a group like this, and I teach each week on the various topics. And then once a week, we meet for Q&A on any type of questions they may have. And of course, after they meet with me in the teaching, they have homework. Then we meet later in the week and they answer questions. The divorce recovery is the same thing. I teach, they have homework, we come back, we discuss the homework, and then we move on to the next topic. So that's how I do it.
How much is it? How much is the divorce recovery program?
The program, the front end is $1,000. That's the beta. And the plan for the back end is for it to be 2,000, which I'll take them longer and work with them one-on-one for about 6 months. I'm just throwing it out there because I haven't done the back end, but that's my thinking on the back end. When I do one-on-one sessions, I charge 150 right now, 150 per session.
Okay. So from what you're telling me and what I'm hearing is I think from everything you said, I think you're really passionate about the divorce recovery because you're consistently mentioning it even more than the other one. So that may be where you're tying your passions together because people who just had a divorce and they want to get back, they're actually single and they want to get back into the dating game. So what I'd suggest here is you want to find out, and now there are different levels. So in every market, every niche, there are different levels. There's a low level to it, to a different kind of audience people play
Okay,
at a
so
higher level.
oh,
So
Lola, we lost you again. So you mentioned that there are the different levels, and you started talking about the lower level.
okay, yeah. So I said in every market, there are different levels. So there's a lower level, there's a mid level, and there's a higher level. And those levels could be divided again, but just so you know, there are like 3 levels in every market. So even in this divorce recovery, there's some people who are going to be charging like $47 a session, and they just, they're really not talking to everybody, but just certain people who can quickly afford it. And there's some people in the same divorce market who are going to be charging like $100,000. So how you decide to attract the people you want at your level depends on the type of messaging you do, the type of marketing you do, how you talk to those people. Because if someone just got a divorce, if someone was married for 3 years and had a divorce after 3 years, the experiences is different from someone who was married for like 20 years and then had a divorce and then had to split property and then had and the stakes are higher, and now they have money, but they're afraid because they don't want to marry someone who's just after the money or whatever. So it's a different ball game, and you have to be certain about which of these people do I want to target, because the problems of someone who just who's maybe 27 or 28 and got a divorce and knows that like 2 years time I'm going to remarry is different from someone who is in their 40s and they built a life with someone and they want to start afresh. So you want to decide, like, who am I actually talking to? Now, when you decide who you're talking to, it doesn't mean that if someone who is outside that audience wants to buy you, say I'm not selling, but it just means that you're able to make your messaging stronger. And I feel that one way is determine, like, in this market, who am I talking to? And what kind of income does the person earn? And I'm not saying this to be like discriminatory or anything, but you want to just be certain about if it's someone from the high end of the market who probably was a millionaire, then got a divorce, then had to split their property into 2, and then there's like a lot of money drama going on. That person has a different experience than someone who doesn't have any money. And it was like 2 broke people who just got a divorce, and both of them didn't have money, and there was nothing to split up, and it's a totally different world. So you want to decide, who am I really talking to in the market? And the person I'm talking to, based on your prices, you want to be talking to someone who has disposable income, who is able to pay for it, who sees the value in it. So apparently it's going to be someone who was burned in the last divorce.
Wait,
The
you
person
said
is
so
trying to.
apparently something. I didn't hear anything after. So apparently.
Okay. Please, what did I say before apparently?
So you talked about people at the high end who can afford it, or people who didn't have enough to afford it. So I guess with
Okay.
my prices, I think you're saying I'm dealing with people who can't afford it. Is that what you're telling me? I'm just
Okay,
trying
so I said, I no, what I was even talking, what I said was that based on your prices, you want to have someone who has disposable income and someone who sees the value of getting counseling and getting coaching before they jump into another relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now in this space, you're also solving a problem. Now, some people want to jump into relationships, but they don't even know how they will get back into the dating. So if you're going to teach them how to get back into the dating game, then that's a problem you're solving. If you're going to be showing them how to decide if this is the one, that's something you're solving. If you're going to be showing them how to make sure they tie up their finances, so in case anything happens with this new person, they don't lose their money, that's another problem you're solving. But you want to be very, very clear about the problems you're solving with this offer, because that is where your messaging is going to come from. Because when you start creating content, or you're doing videos, or you're doing a masterclass, those things are going to be based on those problems. So for example, you decide to do a masterclass and you say you're doing a masterclass on how to get back into the dating game. And you're using examples about a 27-year-old person who probably doesn't need to pay 1K to get back into the dating game because they're still hot and they feel like, oh my God, I'm just going to go back. And someone who's like 52 who wants to try something out, they'll feel alienated. They're like, okay, she's not really talking to me. She's talking to, this young people who haven't really been out of the dating. So you want to be very clear about who you're talking to in the market, and also look at the demographics, not demographics, the money profile. Are you talking to people who have money and who have had money all their lives? Or are you talking to people that don't have enough money? Because if you're talking to people who don't have enough money, trust me, they're not going to buy. Linda, I love that topic. You're never too old to get back into the dating game. Awesome.
Yeah,
and that.
oh,
Okay, go on.
Well, I wanted to say, and so here's one thing that I find, at least this happened for me, and I'm not sure, I know it happens for other people as well, so I'm not sure if it's happening for anybody here, but as we hear Lola say, really it's about niching down, niching down, niching down. And this really works because, again, you're known for that one thing. And here's the thing is, just because we niche down to something, it doesn't mean we can't serve other people. All this is saying is for your marketing, have a message so that you become known as that person in that topic. So you think about, for example, I was doing a LinkedIn workshop. I know 2 people who are expert in LinkedIn. So what I do, I reached out to those 2 people. They're known for LinkedIn. That's all they do. But you know what? They do a lot of other things. But what I know of them is they are experts in LinkedIn. So I reached out to them because they're like, I know other people who do LinkedIn and this and that and this and that, but these 2 people are specialized in LinkedIn. So I reached out to them, right? So this is the message that's trying to come across here. So Frida, was that helpful for you today?
Yes, so I think what I'm hearing is, I'm just going to summarize as best as I can. Niche it down. It sounds like I probably should go with divorcees who were married for a significant amount of time, who want to get back into the dating realm. And then that would be how I would package it. That's what I summarized based on everything you said. And then but the other thing I'm saying is the people who I coach through divorce transition are not really ready to date. They're all healing. So I'm helping them just heal from the wounds of divorce and dealing with the issues with the kids in the custody battles, or because their spouse cheated and they're devastated, or so I'm helping people heal in the divorce transition. The dating side, it would be a plus to just keep it in the divorcee realm and do divorcees who've been married for a certain amount of time, who haven't dated in a while, and kind of trying to figure out how to date again. So I don't know. That's what I took from that. So
And the thing is for you to figure out that, right? Because we can guide, but we can't decide. Ooh, that's
right.
good. We can guide, but we can't decide. And so you're the one that makes the decision of what route you want to take. And this niching down, really, again, it's very important for us, because our message that we send out there is going to be to that audience that we have chosen. We have specifically chosen these people for this specific reason. And again, just because you've chosen those people doesn't mean other people don't come to you for help. It's just that these are the ones that you've chosen. So what we need to do is, we have 8 minutes left. This meeting does end on time every week. I never allow it to go anything over. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think one time we went over by 2 minutes, but I want to end this on time. So I know that somebody had their hand up. So Tanisha had her hand up. Tandi has her hand up. Can you guys go and drop your questions in the chat? And in the meantime, while you're dropping those questions in the chat, Lola, are you able to stick around for like maybe an extra 5 or 10 minutes?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so what we'll do is I want to have Lola introduce you to, she has an offer for you if you're interested in it. This is not a sales pitch. This is just to let you know how she can help you in your business with your messaging. So Lola, you want to go and share what you have for us today?
Yeah, so I have a program that I just created. It's called the Magnetic Content Launch System. And the whole idea of it is how you could launch without doing a launch. How you could just launch using your content, using your messaging on whatever platform you're good at, whether it's emails, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram. And I'd say Clubhouse, but Clubhouse is audio. So except you know how you're going to sequentially do the audio, this may not work exactly the same for Clubhouse. But the program is a course and I'm still creating it. The first module will be out tomorrow and you could buy from now. But the thing there is it goes deep into all these things. We talk about pricing, like how your price determines your messaging. Because the way you talk to people who are going to pay you $5 different from the way you're going to talk to people who are going to pay you 50K. So your pricing and your messaging, we talk about positioning. I talk about making your offer really magnetic and getting the right people into your offer. The next thing is I talk about the magnetic content system. One thing about magnetic content is you could use it over and over and over again. Unlike when you do a masterclass and if you're not running ads or whatever, you can't use it again. You could take your content pieces and use them in the next month. You could use them the next quarter. You could turn them to an email. You could do a masterclass series based on them. And I show you every single thing. One of the things I'm creating for this program is a content creating generator where you just answer questions and it brings out, yes, it brings out the content. I'm just so excited about it, but that's not coming out until next week. But that is what's going to, it's one of the bonuses I'm putting in with this offer. Also, the third part of it is I'm going to show you how to close sales without selling. Because one of the things I've learned is that most times when we try to close sales, we're always pushing. We're like pushing them to the offer, pushing them, keep going, keep going, keep going. You can't do it. But that's not the best way to get clients that get results. You want to be attracting people and you want to close them in such a way that they feel that they made a powerful decision. They don't feel pushed, they don't feel manipulated, they don't have second thoughts because they thought about it. You walked them through the thinking process and they made a decision because they felt that you were on their side of the room. So that's the third part. And the bonus is that, one bonus, one bonus there is, and I'm just adding that to the sales page, is that we're going to be having weekly coaching calls. So for as long as you're in the program, and this is the reason why this is not a problem for me is because I love doing coaching calls anyway. So I'm going to be doing coaching calls on Tuesday anyway. So you can just show up and be on any of the coaching calls, ask questions. If you're getting stuck in anything, you could ask questions. Another bonus that you're going to get there is the pre-selling framework, which is my authority builder. So maybe you've never done anything online before and nobody knows who you are. So you can't just bring up a content launch and start selling. I'm going to be showing you how to write posts that position you as an authority within a week. So within a week, people are like, oh my God, I love her. I love her programs. I love what she stands for. And when you do your content launch, they're ready to buy. I'm also going to be showing you how to hack into the algorithm, how to make sure that when you're doing your content launch, people actually see your content launch and the right people see it. So it's just a beautiful package and it's $297. You're going to get all these things, but most importantly, when you get results, you're going to get sales. And I stand behind it because the program is not for everybody. I'll tell you who it's not for. If you know you're not going to create the content, don't bother, because I don't just want to take your money and feel good and you don't get any sales. If you know that you're not going to take action, if you know you're afraid of selling. Now I'm going to show you how to sell in a way that feels beautiful, aligned and natural. But if you still have this, I don't want to sell, I'm scared of money kind of thing, please don't bother, because it'd be a shame for me to take your money and spend it and buy something nice and you're looking at me and thinking like, oh, she took my money and I'm not able to sell anything. So I want you to be, and the beautiful thing about it is whether you so, and now last point here is if you're selling a product that's below $497, the content launch is too advanced for that. So if you know it's like a $7 product, $17, I will not suggest you buy it because it's too much for it. But if you have a program or a product, something that's $497 plus, by all means, this is going to show you exactly what to do, how you're going to make some money, how you're going to, do this stuff without having to do a full launch, without having to dress up and make up and do all those things, which I love doing, but sometimes it can be exhausting. So if you know you want to get clients, you want to get to 3 to 5K months without too much stress, and you're okay with creating good content, just click the link and you're in the content launch system, you're going to get an email where I'm going to give you 3 bonuses, and you could pick one. Those are secret bonuses, and you could pick one of those bonuses. And by tomorrow, the first module will be up, and you could start consuming, start getting results, and start selling. That's it. Hope to see you there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lola. So you heard her. If you have a product that's under $497, this is probably not for you. And if you're not going to do the work, it's definitely not for you. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And okay, cool. So we're going to take 12 minutes. We're stealing 10 extra minutes of Lola's time. So thank you so much, Lola, for being here today and providing this tremendous value. And I see Tanisha has a question. Outside of our own presumptions, what resource would you recommend that we use to help us discover the pain point of our targeted audience? Great question.
Beautiful question. One of the things I teach is go to Amazon. I've done this work with Linda before. It is such a big, it's such a big resource. Why? Because there are books on anything.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. Amazon. Hold on a second. Everybody break out a pen and paper before she gives this tip, because this is brilliance upon brilliance. Okay, so get ready. Okay, Lola, now go.
Okay, so go to Amazon, and when you get to Amazon, go check for a book on your topic. So for example, let's say you are doing something on business, and me and Linda, we did for business, starting a business over 50. Then go see the top bestsellers. Why you want to check for bestsellers? Because that means people have bought it. And people that bought it, they had a problem. That's what made them buy the book. They didn't buy it because they love the author. Some people buy it because they love the author. Most people buy it because they want to solve a problem. So you go to the bestsellers and you go to the reviews. Now you check the critical reviews. In the critical review section, they're going to be giving you some gold. So some people that are going to be like, oh my God, this was rubbish. I wish it was step by step. And then you know that the problem people have is they don't have a step-by-step method. In critical reviews, some people can say, oh, it's all mindset, there was no strategy, or it's all strategy, there's no mindset, or it's all, this and there was no that. And then you take all those things, and that forms a basis for you to be able to add those things into your own marketing, your own messaging. Then you also want to go to the positive reviews and see what people loved about it. So for example, if someone says, I loved the way she broke down how to get clients. And then, in your own offer, you didn't break down how to get clients. You know unconsciously now that people want to find out how to get clients. So this is one way that when I used to write copy, I used to binge on Amazon reviews. I used to binge on Reddit. Those two places, because people are constantly writing what's going on in their lives. But for Amazon, why it's gold is because people have paid money. And remember that you want to be solving problems that people pay money to solve. So if someone is paying money to solve a problem, that means they bought a book on that problem. Definitely they are a buyer. And the reviews they have, both critical and positive, show you exactly what buyers want. Because one thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to be selling to people who are not buyers. Problems that buyers have is probably different from problems that people who are not buyers have. So let me give you a simple example. In the business space, a problem that a buyer has may be how to create a promotion plan or a marketing plan. The problem a freebie seeker will have will be how to dream up your dream business, something like that. So if you're doing a workshop on how to dream up your big business, how to decide whether you start a business or not, guess what? People who are going to come don't have any money to start a business, and they're not planning to start a business, and they're not going to buy. But if you're doing a workshop on how to create your 2021 promotion calendar, guess what? People who are going to come are people who have something to promote, and they want to create a calendar. So you want to make sure that you're talking to people who are buyers, who have shown that they buy. And one way of finding out what people who are buyers want is by checking Amazon. I hope I answered your question.
That help, Tanisha? Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, we got 7 minutes left, so I'm counting that timer. Tondi, you want to go ahead and ask your question? Let's keep it short so that we can get the response from Lola. Thank you so much for being here today.
Okay, thank you so much, Lola, for your presentation. Sorry I didn't catch it all. So from what I've learned, I was trying to type this, it wasn't working, but so from what I've learned from both you and Linda is that I have to niche down. So my overarching desire is to help end suffering for women physicians. I know that's too big. So specifically interested in helping women physicians bounce back. And I know that's also too big. So the area that I'm going to start with is from divorce recovery. And basically the goal is to recover faster with more power and more love. And the question is, how is the messaging different if I'm selling a 6-week package for $29.97? How does the messaging differ for that price point?
Okay. So one thing I want you to know is there's high-end luxury messaging and there's low normal messaging. Normal messaging is where you're saying, oh, you're going to get this and 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 there's this discount and this is actually meant to be 7,000, but I'm giving you a 297. But luxury messaging is when you are talking about the experience. Now, a physician who just got who just got out of a divorce, they don't want someone to go back and drill in the pain and everything. They want to get out of the pain. So now the difference between messaging for a low ticket product and a high ticket product is a low ticket product, you're constantly talking about the pain. You're constantly talking about how, and please, I hope everyone can hear me. Am I still on? Okay, awesome. You're constantly talking about the pain. You're constantly talking about, the problem. But once you're going to high level messaging, you're not just talking about the pain. You're talking about actions that you're taking, and you're talking about the dream they have. So what dream does a physician have after going through a divorce? And now the different ways you could break this down, you could even start with talking about why physicians get divorced in the first place. And you could say the reason why is not because, of whatever, because, you could go ahead and talk about the fact that most people expect physicians to get divorced because they're busy and it's just a natural mindset, which is meant to put women down. You could make that your messaging. And you can now make it that, if you're a physician and you got divorced, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to be suicidal. You don't have to do all those things. You can bounce back. And this is how you bounce back. I want you to start seeing the future because you want to be talking to people who can still see the future. When we talk about low ticket stuff, most of the time we're talking about people who are still seeing themselves as the victim. And once someone is still in that cycle of, oh, I'm a victim, they are not ready to move on. They may say they want to move on, but they've not decided that they're going to move on. Kind of like me, I'm always saying I'm going to go on a diet to lose weight, but I haven't really decided to lose weight. I say it every single year, but I never do it. So you want to be talking to the person, the physician, who has decided, this divorce was nasty, it happened last year, but now I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to go to the next thing. And you have to talk to that person. Where do they want to go? What does that look like for them? What's that next thing? What does it look like for them? Do they have kids? How does that affect? So it's not just, just niching down because you want to niche down. It's just niching down your messaging so that it can be so powerful and laser targeted to the right person. Because when you're speaking to that physician and you're telling them where they can go, and you're telling them, the reason why you're still feeling like this, even after the divorce, even after you've done counseling, is because you haven't made a plan, or you haven't been able to see the vision. And that's what I help my clients do. I help them plan out the vision of where they want to go after the divorce. Yes, the divorce was painful. We're not going to sit down and wallow in the pain. We're moving on. We have a vision. We have a plan. Now, that's because you're trying to sell it as a high ticket offer. If you're trying to sell it as a low ticket offer, it's going to be different messaging. You're going to be talking about, yes, you were hurt. Let's come and have a group meeting and talk about, how painful the divorce was and, everything. And it goes on and on but for a high ticket offer, I'm not paying you $3,000 to come and tell me how painful the divorce was. I'm paying you $3,000 because I want to move out of the divorce. I want to get out of the whole the whole pain and the whole drama, and I want to start my life again. So that's where the messaging gets different.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Was that helpful, Tandy?
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I love that distinction, Lola. I never heard that before. The low ticket offer, you're constantly talking about the pain, whereas the high ticket offer, you're talking about the dreams they have. And this is so true with, because I sell tickets to Secret Knock, right? And we're talking in that, I'm talking about the transformation they're going to get by attending the event. So it's always talking about the stuff that they're going to get, and it's helping them envision that the results that they're going to get through that. And I never talk about the, are you tired of this or that or this or that? It's always about the positives, about what the vision is ahead of there. So awesome. I love it. Oh my gosh. We got 1 minute left. Lola, I want to thank you so much. And, this is a woman you definitely want to be connected to, whether you join her program or not. Please reach out to her. She's loyal. Oh, she changed her name on her Zoom thing, Lola Oyafemi. That's her name on Facebook. You reach out to her, friend her out there, an amazing, absolutely amazing woman. And do you have anything you want to share with us before we head out for the day?
Yeah, just want to share that, be confident about your message. Sometimes we're shy, we're feeling like, oh my God, people are going to judge me, remove all that drama, be confident about your message. It is your message. And you are doing better than most people in the world because you are showing up and you're showing that you believe in something, and you're not taking the easy way. You're taking the hard way. It's not easy to be a coach. It's not easy to sell products. It's not easy to run a business. And you doing it shows that you're strong. And because of that, you should be proud of yourself every single time you post something, whether people like it or not, because you are doing it.
Awesome. Thank you, Lola. Do you have a free Facebook group?
Yes, I have magnetics. Oh my God, I don't have the link to it, but what if I put the link in the chat?
Okay.
Let me put the link in the chat.
What's it called? Magnetic messaging? Would love to talk about this on a live on social. What link would you want me to share for non-WET members? Tanisha, you want to clarify that so I can know exactly what you're asking there?
So, when I get nuggets of information, like just the fact of the importance for me, I would be talking about magnetic messaging. You're the expert. Wouldn't be trying to go into that. But if I'm talking about it, I would love to be able to say, yeah, I was in the Women Action Takers group, and Lola Oyafemi was speaking, and she said, she was saying this, that, and the other. She's got an amazing offer. Go to her website, check it out here. I want to be able to give them a link, but I know sometimes when people do talks like this, there's a link specifically for a certain group of people, and then there's like a different link offer for, general public. So I was wondering if there was a different link that you would want me to share with people if that were the case.
Can she share that link, Lola?
You could definitely share the link. The reason why I created a different link for this is because I want to make sure I'm taking special care of Linda's people. But you could definitely share the link. It's the same price whether I give you the other link or I give you this link. Is $297. But this is because I know Linda's my sister. So anyone coming from my sister is a special person.
We're sisters from another misters. For sure. That would be great. Yeah. If you got some great value out of this, take a snapshot of everybody who's on the screen here and share it out on your social media. I don't usually say that about the mastermind, but thanks for bringing that up, Tanisha. I truly appreciate that. So hopefully you guys got some really great golden nuggets to be able to now mix things up, right? And then start thinking a little bit differently. It's definitely a journey. This isn't like I wake up today and there I am. We got to go down this journey. And this is one of those paths that we go down, is that messaging, getting clear on our messaging, getting confident in our messaging. Because when we're confident and clear, then that's when we attract the people to us. If we're not confident and we are a mess in our messaging, then, we are not going to attract people to us. It's as simple as that. So I'm looking forward to your course, Lola, starting tomorrow, and I'm going to click on that link myself. And everybody have a great, great day. And for those in the Clubhouse Challenge, tonight at 6 p.m., we're going to jump onto Clubhouse. We're just going to start right over there. I'm creating a link to that right now. We're going to talk about overcoming overcoming imposter syndrome. That'll be our topic for tonight. So make sure you come in, with a clear message that you want to share, and as well as make sure that you know what your intention is of the room before you show up, so that way you can fulfill that intention that you have today. Everybody, thanks so much for being here. And Lola, I love you. Oh, I love everybody, but Lola came and did our presentation today. So thank you so much, everybody. See you later. Bye. Bye.
Bye.